So you clicked on this video because you want to know if the new-ish GoPro Hero 6 is worth the investment for the average vlogger and the average filmmaker. I'm here to talk to you about the GoPro Hero 6. Back in September 2017, the GoPro Hero 6 Black came out. It had a whopping price tag of about $550 with tax, and that's not even counting the micro SD card you're going to buy if you don't have one. With its in-house built processing unit, the GoPro Hero 6 Black achieves one of the best performance out of any action camera in its class. With upgraded low-light abilities and a breathtaking upgraded electronic image stabilization, the new GoPro is definitely one to consider. Its ability to shoot 4K at 60 frames a second can ensure you will get the smoothest picture the first time. Or maybe you want to slow things down a little bit and shoot 240 frames per second at 1080p, giving you incredible slow motion shots. So now I'm going to do a stabilization test. I'm just going to be walking up and down the street, and then I'll give you guys a little run to show you guys how it looks like. So I'm just going to be walking, just a regular walk. I'm not trying to not shake it. In fact, my hand is shaking pretty decently. So I'm just walking, and as you guys can tell, it is incredibly steady. It's beyond anything I've ever seen out of a camera this size. And now I'm just gonna give a light jog and a run. So hopefully that was something you guys will be looking forward to, because like I said, it is incredible how good the image stabilization is on this camera. So guys, what I noticed is that whenever you're walking with the GoPro, it's fantastic, the image is fantastic, but whenever you start jogging or doing like a medium to heavy run, it's steady, and then it kind of like it shakes a little bit, then steady, then shakes a little bit. You guys got to remember, it's an electronic image stabilization, so technically the better it is, the more it's cropping out the picture, and you don't want the picture to be cropped out. So I would rather have a little bit shaky video than a cropped out picture, because that also ruins image quality. So now I'm actually going to show you guys what it looks like, the same exact thing, with the image stabilization turned off, and you will see that it is a big difference. So here you guys go. This is just a regular walk. And now I'm going to start doing a light jog and a run. So as you guys could tell, that's a pretty big difference. So my verdict on that is, if you're going to be doing action shots, strictly action shots, in my opinion, I would turn off the image stabilization, because when the image stabilization is off and you're doing an action shot, the viewer will view it as if it was really them in the video, if that makes sense. But if you're doing some sort of cinematic shot or just walking around, vlogging with people, not too much movement, not too much running, then at that point I would turn on image stabilization. Hey guys, so this is day 2 of filming, and today we're just gonna look into the menu system of the GoPro. You get these menu bars down here. The first one is your style of video or photo that you're going to be doing. The first section up top is going to be video and video looping. The middle one is photo, night, or burst. The last one is time-lapse video, time-lapse photo, and night-lapse photo. Going to the right, we have your resolution right here. We are actually in the wrong menu system. Let's go back to video. Your resolution right here, you got 720p, 1080p, 1440p, 2.7K with a ratio of 4/3, 2.7K, 4K at 4/3, and 4K. So once you pick the resolution you want, let's say I want 4K, then you go over to this section right here, and this is where you can select which frames per second you can do. On 4K you can do 24, you can do 30, or you can do 60. The top ones are grayed out because these are not available in 4K. Over here you can select which field of view you want. With 4K 60 frames a second, you can only do wide. Now if you switch over to 2.7K at 60 frames per second. You can do linear, which is pretty much, it crops out the fisheye effect. You can do wide, or you can do super view. So if we swipe to the left, you get your Pro Tune settings. You have your video stabilization on or off. You got your auto low light on or off, and your manual audio control. If we swipe down, you get your connections and your preferences. This is pretty much the menu to where you can actually take a tour of the camera. You can see what this camera is about, your updates, your time and date, your date format, your camera control voices up here. So pretty much if you do that, if you do enable that, this is pretty much what you get. GoPro, turn off. And your GoPro turns off. So then if you want to turn it back on, you just say GoPro. Okay, well, it already kind of beat me to it. So yeah, that's the setting you want to go to, is preferences, and then you'll find it there. And you also got your language, your list of commands, your beep volume, your LEDs. So pretty much these are all just the brightness. You can change the brightness of it, the auto rotation, your GPS. So these are all the fun things over here. Now, if you go to connections, this is pretty much how you can connect your GoPro to your cell phone. And if we swipe from the left to the right, you get your video library of all the shots that you did, and you can play it back. And here's a little tip for you guys to control the volume. If you want to click on it and you want to play it, but the volume is too low, all you gotta do is swipe up from the bottom.
So here you guys go.
And you can control the volume right there.
Just a regular walk.
And that's the video that it did in this video. So yeah guys, that is about it for this menu system of GoPro. So right now, we are shooting at 2.7K, 30 frames per second in linear mode. Now we're shooting in 2.7K, 30 frames per second in wide. And now we're shooting in 2.7K, 30 frames per second in super view mode. Guys, so there you saw it. It was linear, wide, and super wide. I always record in wide, and if I do not like the fish effect, I can always just do that in post and do a lens correction filter, which decreases the fisheye effect, but it keeps all the information in the video. So is it worth the $500 that it was when it first came out? Definitely not. Is it worth the $399 that it is now? Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a GoPro. I mean, it's your typical GoPro, typical style, typical menu system, which I really love, and that's what it is. So you guys gotta treat it like an action camera. You know, if you're gonna be treating it like a DSLR and you're gonna be mad that it's not recording well in low light, well, yeah. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Of course, it's not gonna record well in low light. You know, it's a given. Is it gonna be probably improving as the years go by? Yeah, but in 10 years, it still won't be as good as this camera is right now. So take it for what it is. It's an action camera. Record action with it, and you're going to be fine. Now, it does have stabilization for those cinematic shots that you may want to do, but keep in mind when stabilization is on, it is cropping the image. And if the image is cropping, it's making the image worse. And if you have stabilization on at night at a high frame rate, then that's it. Your video is just garbage. You might as well just throw it out, because your grain and video noise is going to be like incredibly high. So keep it as low as possible. Do not record past 30 FPS once it gets to low light. Turn stabilization off at low light, and turn Pro Tune off at low light as well, which makes no sense. But this camera, why'd you turn on? GoPro, turn off. I feel like the government is listening to me right now. But yeah, well, during low light, Pro Tune is horrible for some weird reason. I guess they'll fix that soon. So if you're shooting at low light, you should probably shoot in auto. That's just your best bet. So guys, that's it. That's the GoPro Hero 6 Black Edition. Well, there's actually no other edition, so I guess it's just a GoPro Hero 6. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be doing a lot more videos on this bad boy, so keep in touch.